I talk to a lot of leaders and entrepreneurs who are on the verge of quitting, and here is what I tell them. What's up, everybody? Justice here, former pastor, current life coach, helping entrepreneurs and leaders just like you figure out what's next, especially when you're asking the question, what now? All right, so this past week I've been actually talking to a lot of entrepreneurs and leaders, and a lot of them are getting close to feeling like they need to quit, feeling like they need to throw in the towel, or they're just highly discouraged. And so I'm gonna give you 3 reasons or 3 things that I tell my clients when they're about to quit, or I should say, questions I usually ask them. And so this is for anyone that might feel like they're on the verge of quitting, and what I tell them as a life coach to keep them going, or to just figure out, really, what do you want? Which brings me to the first thing I ask them. What do you want? When someone is on the verge of quitting, it is either because they've been going through like a really discouraging season, 2, they catch themselves comparing to other people that are way ahead of them but in a similar field, 3, they're bored, like really bored. And so they know they're not living up to their potential and they're bored, and so they're looking at what they've created and they're going, I don't like it anymore, and now what am I doing? Who am I? So I ask them, what do you want? It's crazy. It's probably one of the most frustrating things you can ask somebody, because their first answer is I don't know, which sometimes with some of my clients, we have a rule where they can't say I don't know. It's a limiting belief of all limiting beliefs. Other than saying this is impossible, it is a top limiting belief. I don't know. I like saying, hey, I just haven't discovered it yet, but I'm on my way. I'm gonna figure this out. So anyways, what do you want? It's really clear for you as an entrepreneur, as a leader, to know what you want. It doesn't have to be this massive vision of the future. You just have to know, what do I want? If you're stuck, the number one question you can ask yourself is, what do I want? If you're discouraged, if you're ready to hand in the towel, ask yourself this question. Coach yourself. You don't even need me. What do I want? What do I want? It'll cause you to look around and go, oh, you know what? I do want this. I just don't like the way it is right now. Okay, we can work with that. So the first thing I do is I ask them, what do you want? The second question that I ask when I see discouraged entrepreneurs or leaders ready to hand in the towel is, why did you start doing what you're doing? Like, why are we here? What got you here? It's so important, because when you get discouraged and you hit a few roadblocks, you get punched in the face a couple times, that you remember why you started in the first place. I've seen more entrepreneurs than I'd like sacrifice something that's good for the shiny thing that they think they need to have. And so it's important to know why we're here, what we've created to get here, and is it actually operating well? Or are you just discouraged and so you think it's everybody else's fault but your own? So why are we here? What got us here? It's just as important to look back as it is to look forward. And so you might actually have something that's working just fine, but you're not. And so why are we here? What got us here? And then the last thing, when someone's ready to throw in the towel, get discouraged, one of the things that I like to do, and the last thing is just go, okay, you've quit, now what? Like, what is it that you want to go do now? What is it? And it's important for you to know, I'm not convincing people to not quit. I think quitting is a necessary thing to do sometimes. But depending on the leader, depending on the client, it usually isn't. What they really want are for things to change, circumstances to change. And circumstances are always going to be different than we expect, but we get to determine how we show up. And so for you, if you're discouraged on where you are or what you're doing, ask yourself better questions. And look around and ask yourself, am I just comparing myself to everything that's going around? Is this just a discouraging season that I need to persevere through? Like, who are you talking to? Who is your community? Are they people that are at the same level as you, or are they above you? Have you shown what you're discouraged about to higher level thinking people to say, hey, this happened to me. Is this right? Is this wrong? Do I need to quit? Just so they can laugh at you and your problem and go, no, you know what? I have those kind of problems all the time. Just change or tweak this little thing and you'll be fine. This is normal. More often than not, an entrepreneur or leader just needs to know that things are going to be okay, or that this is normal, or how do I change this? And so just change your community. Get around more higher level thinking people. You're not alone. There are other people that have gone through what you're going through. You're not the first one, and you're not unique. To me, you are, but you're not. Let's be honest. Like, you're not the first person to try and build a business or build some kind of organization and see it scale. And so talk to people that have been where you are. Okay? So, is it okay to quit? Yeah, it's perfectly fine to quit. There's a time for everything, and seasons end. I've quit things. I've failed at things, and so it's okay. But it's important to know that if you do have something that's working, that's actually like building revenue, doing some really great things, maybe you're just in the wrong seat in the business. Maybe you need to move on to more of a founder position and maybe not the CEO position. Maybe you don't need to be the one overlooking everything. Maybe you need to make a hire. Maybe you need to have better hires. Or maybe you need to quit. So I wanted to encourage you to just kind of how I coach people through quitting or not quitting and how you can do the same. This is a quicker video, but I just think don't fill it with fluff. Help people out. You know why? Because I'm a former pastor, current life coach, who's helping leaders and entrepreneurs just like you figure out what's next, especially when they're asking, what now? Bah!